Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them. Crises precipitate change.
Secretly plotting your demise. I want to devise a virus.
Hello everyone, Darko2012 here with Global Government News, and I'm reading an article titled "The Austin, Texas Bombing is a Huge Image Blow to the Tea Party Right." And that's for sure, man. This, whether this guy is the real deal, you know, and he wasn't drugged up throwing that plane and remote controlled fucking, you know, by remote control, flew that damn plane into that building, you know, of course, with having a suicide note and then all that stuff. I mean, you never know, and it's this is the day it happened. So, like the underpants bomber, you know, some things don't smell right, but you have to wait until stuff like, you know, with the underpants bomber. You know, he was with a sharp-dressed man. They never released a video of that. Of course, they said they didn't have any, but you know, it ended up coming out that he was working with intelligence agencies, and that he was being used to get more intel about Al Qaeda or Al Qaeda, whatever. They later had to come out and admit that because it was just so obvious. And so here we go again. In 2010, the year of false flag terrorism, as I have said in my previous videos about 2010, and Gerald Celente saying that this year would be the year of terrorism, and I think it's going to be the year of false flag terrorism as well, especially here in the spring. You know, it's a great diversion, and it also does so many other things. It makes it harder for pilots to get their pilot's licenses. They have to jump all kinds of hoops. They have to go through, quote, psychological evaluations, so that, you know, if you're just a regular average guy, well, not a regular average guy, but let's just say you're a regular average guy, and you know, yeah, you're kind of liberty-minded and conservative and maybe outspoken about something, they can use that against you. You know, they'll give you a psychological analysis to get your pilot's licenses, and they'll say, "Oh, do you own a weapon? Oh, okay. How do you feel about the government?" You know, and you know, lo and behold, you get rejected. But you know, that's a different story. And so yeah, like I said, we don't know yet what happened. But the first thing I thought was Oklahoma City bombing, because it's a good way to just really demonize the conservative movement, which is just exploding. And like I said, it's kind of, like I said, it's hard to tell right now, but for whatever it's worth, let's just assume that this was a legitimate intentional act by this individual, Joseph Stark, who flew his it's kind of like a Cessna, but maybe a little bit fancier, but not much more. It's very kind of a small plane into a medium-sized building, 7 floors. It held other offices, other agencies, federal agencies besides the IRS, but that was the one that was the most impacted, I guess. And so yeah, the right in the conservative movement, which has a lot of momentum right now, is just being bombarded by the hijacking of the Tea Party, calling it the Tea Party Nation, by the Palin and Beck and all them, co-opting that movement. And then you have Marvel Comics coming out saying that just recently coming out with an issue, you know, basically implying that most of the people at Tea Parties are white, and most white people are conservatives, and most conservatives are racist. So you got that, the white supremacists, and teabaggers, and so yeah, it goes back to the Oklahoma City bombing, which, you know, I can't say 100%, but there's a lot of people out there that have done their own investigations into and research into Oklahoma City bombing, saying that, and it is their belief. It's not exactly mine, but it is their belief that the Oklahoma City bombing was done intentionally and allowed to happen by our federal government. There was a big movement in the 90s that was going on. Um, all the Republicans got swept into office. I believe it was the first time the House and the Senate had an all Republican majority, and people were starting grassroots movements and militias and all that were starting, and because this stuff's been going on for a long time, globalization and tearing down U.S. sovereignty and all that other stuff, along with the Federal Reserve, fraudulent Federal Reserve system. So, in the way I'm speaking right now, is going to be wrapped up in all this, and so I don't know how this is going to play out, but I just know it's not going to help this movement, and so I just kind of wish that this individual wouldn't have done this because it's exactly what these people want. Like there really isn't a such thing as a peaceful revolution, but there is such a thing as just resistance. And I think it's better just to resist as long as you possibly can, and don't play into their little web that they've laid out, and they want a bloody revolution, and that's not going to help us in this conservative movement, where we have an opportunity to really change history here and vote for maybe a third party here, a real conservative, not a phony fascist Democrat or Republican, right? A globalist. So, it says here, it's not clear who the Austin, Texas plane crash pilot Joe Stack hung out with, but let's just put it out there and stop playing pretend. This is not good publicity for the Tea Party right now. And no, we're not saying Stack was a Tea Partier. But in his insane manifesto, he rails against the IRS, bailouts, and, well, all the right-wing typical enemies. Is this fair to the right? No. Will some of the media use this as a chance to smear the Tea Partiers? Sure. And you can be rest assured, Donnie Darko 2012 here is telling you that it will be in the majority of the media that you see. You will see it in your local papers. You will see it on all the online news sources. You will see it on Fox, CNN, NBC, and even Fox. I don't know if it's not talking about protecting this guy, but we're gonna see how the right is just gonna be totally defiled after this incident. So it says, but we're not talking about what's fair. We're talking about what happens. Just talking about what happens. The bottom line is that this event is to Obama what Oklahoma City was to Bill Clinton, and Oklahoma City helped Clinton a lot in the dark days of the '94 election, right? And so, this is his Joseph Stack's voicemail, and this was, posted on YouTube, and, I really don't care what's on his voicemail, and whether he wrote this or not is somewhat irrelevant to me. Well, it's not totally irrelevant. It would be interesting to find out whether he actually wrote that or he said, what he said. But, like I said, don't know for sure whether this was legitimate, just carried out by this one individual where he set his house on fire and then sped off to the airport, got in a little bit bigger of a size Cessna, and then flew into this federal building. All I know is that there's a huge uprising or a huge swelling of anti-globalization and pro-liberty, pro-sovereignty going on in the United States, and that the government itself, or indirectly intelligence agencies of the federal government, like to provocateur. And, like, I'm not saying that the intelligence agencies or the government is responsible for Oklahoma City or this Texas IRS plane crash. So don't think that I said that. I'm just throwing ideas out there for people to kind of do their own research and figure out what's what. And in time, this will come out. But like ClimateGate, like the H1N vaccine, the New World Order is pushing their agenda forward, and they need to do certain things, but they are losing and they are behind schedule. And when that happens and the economy is being imploded by design in order to crack down on us and our freedoms, things like this just happen to occur, coincidentally or not. But I'll leave that to you. Thank you, everybody.